I need you to trust me and believe right this moment, right this second, that the Mercedes-Benz C200 requires to take a back seat and relax, because the car we are reviewing today on Conversation is a car that has so many good things to say about when it comes to how it looks, when it comes to how comfortable it is, and most importantly, when it comes to safety. Which car am I talking about? I'm talking about the 2018 new second generation Volvo V60 T5 Momentum. And because talking will not do justice, allow me to give the Beatles a chance to speak. Wewe. Hey, tunawaya 100 bwana. What a beauty, what a piece of art. This is a result of a designer who had inner connection to inner beauty, and then that will radiate outwardly, and this is what you get. And they didn't just cook on this car only. Of course, they cooked on the S90, they cooked on the XC60, they cooked on the XC90 as well. And the good thing is, all those cars share a platform, which Volvo calls the scalable product architecture. Not only do they share the design and look, they also share the suspension and most of other components that we are going to define and talk about in this review of the V60. At this point, if you haven't subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for, because we are almost 200,000 subs, and I need you to be part of it. So I'll give you 2 seconds. 1 and 2. Please subscribe, give me a like, and leave me a comment, because all those 3 things are going to make sure that we reach to as many people as possible. And of course, you're growing the community. Be part of us. Let's get into this epic review of the 2018 to all the way to 2022 Volvo V60 T5. It's actually quite easy and very, very difficult. I will quote somebody who said, ni ngumu sana kutoa mtu kwa kiti. Lakini ni ngumu zaidi huyo mtu pia kukaa kwa hiyo kiti. That is the same thing going on here. The proportions of this car, the design language on this car, the way it has been put together to just bring out this look is short of amazing. Like, this is a car you will always admire to look at. Anytime you park it, you walk some few meters away and you look back and you feel happy. You admire the choice you made on buying this car. And that is the same feeling I'm getting. But let's talk about what is so defining, what is so epic, what is so awesome about this car. First of all, part of the scalable product architecture is the new set of headlights. And these are the Thor Hammer LED headlights with a daylight strip that runs across the entire headlight. And it looks just awesome and beautiful, especially at night. It's adaptive, it's full LED, and it has what we call an automatic high beam. Automatic high beam, it means it can actually shut itself on and off depending with the oncoming traffic, so that you don't dazzle the oncoming traffic. It's a safety feature. Hii si kama watu wa Prado wako na teardrop edition. Headlights zao zinawaka tu, zinakufinya macho kabisa. This one is geared towards safety, because we know Volvo about safety. And then down here, you have active fog lights. Very minute, very subtle. They fit into the design language of this car. They are not as big as what you'll get on Subarus. And for me, that is something that I really appreciate about the design language of this car. Of course, flowing at the center of the design, you get your chrome and blacked out grille with your iron dome center, Volvo logo and Volvo sign, which makes sure that you understand the car that is coming towards you, coming from you, is actually a Volvo. And then you have your Volvo logo or Volvo word Christian right there. Now, if you're buying this car in a different trim, you'll get an option of having a 360-degree camera mounted somewhere here. But this one comes with parking sensors and just a clean, awesome look and finish. If you're buying the inscription, because this car comes with 3 trim levels, if you're buying it between 2019 or 2018 all the way to 2022, because it got a bit of a refresher from 2022, which I always tell you, it's called a mid-cycle refresher. Most cars do that, BMW, Mercedes, kila mtu anakuanga in between a generation, they will do a refresher. So it got a refresher from 2022, and it got different trims, and it changed even the nomenclature of how it's called. So right now we are having T5, T6 and T8. But from 2022, we are going to have B4, B5. And that means that they brought in a bit of mild hybrid application. You know, the future of Volvo, they say they're going into fully hybrid and then electric, which they have decided to recant that decision, and I am curious to see exactly what's going to happen. But if you buy the high stream level, like the R design and the inscription, you'll find a different bit here. Like the inscription has a lot of chrome going on, and then the momentum, the R design has a lot of sporty vibes, you know, blacked out sporty vibes and an aggressive looking bumper as well. Now, I believe there's nothing much to talk about the front. We are done. Look at how this car is shot. The ground clearance of this car is actually 5.6 inches. And that is something that you have to pay attention to. But across the board, if you're looking at buying even the C200, I believe that is the same issue you'll be dealing with. So it's recommended that you do a bit of changes here and there to make sure this car is compliant to your road in case you're living in a place where you require a bit of better ground clearance. Now, being a Momentum and a T5, you get size 17 wheels with normal Volvo alloys. But if you buy this car in an R design, you have an option of having size 18 or size 19. And at the same time, if you buy an inscription, you have size 18 as standard. So the R design is the one that will have a set of two, depending with which one you want to go for. Then you have disc at the front, disc at the rear. You have double wishbone suspension at the front and an independent multi-link suspension at the rear for comfort driving and comfort feel, okay? Being a different unit, if you buy the one that I've told the highest trim level, you might also find yourself having a 360 degree here, but here you just get a normal side mirror with your side LED blinker, which makes this car look awesome. Now, looking at it from the side profile, everything was working out quite well. Even the roof is quite low. You can actually just put your hand there. It's a low sitting wagon, which makes it look better. But there's something that Volvo keeps on doing with their cars, and that is towards the rear of this car, where they end the rear like they did not intend to end. So it's just a sharp end, poof, and that reveals you to the rear. Now, I love this car from the rear. The only car I feel will give this car a run for the money when it comes to how the styling of the rear looks is the new Action, the shooting brake. Yeah, it is a killer when it comes to how it looks at the rear. But this is what we have right now in the Kenyan market. So we can profess and say this is the king at the moment. There is none other than this. There is, show me. Yeah, show me in the comments or show me a picture. I will want to see differently. But you get your signature hips on every Volvo, and these hips, you know, they are complemented with the rear taillight, which is LED, and then you have your reverse lights right here, and you know, just look at that, awesome and beautiful. I know Honda Fit are trying to do that as well. Mwache mchezo Honda Fit. Then coming down here, of course, you get your V60 badge and the T5 badging, and then your Volvo name, just Kristen right there. And then you have two exhaust tips, and these two exhaust tips will change the design and look depending which trim you're going for. If you're going for the R design, there's a different integration that have been done on the rear bumper. And if you're going for the inscription as well, there's a different integration. So pictures will be put here for you to see how it looks. And then now, up at least we have a reverse camera, but we don't have a front-facing camera. You don't have a 360-degree camera. But again, those are optional, meaning if you buy this kind of different trim, you'll be able to get that. This is the basic or the best model of the Volvo V60. Now, the tailgate is electronic, which again is an option. There's a way you can get one with electronic feature to push it up. But this one is electronic, which is good. And this reveals you to 529 liters of practical boot space. And it doesn't stop there. Now, being a low-sitting wagon, it means even the access to the boot is quite low. So look at this. Like, hata ukikaa, hata mtu yeye anaweza kaa hapa. So easy. This is the perfect car for short people. Yeah, okay. Poleni. But it doesn't stop there. So in case you need more space, this can also turn into your fielder pickup. Oh, what a fielder. I'm saying this is a sophisticated fielder you can buy. So you actually have buttons here that you can press, and those buttons can actually recline your seat and drop them down. I'm pressing that one, yes. Oh, this one is locked. Oh, there's a lock feature here. So if you don't lock the feature, so you can actually actuate that electronically. And then if I remove this one, let me just push it out so you guys can see. It's important that you look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Now you have a flat surface. And now this becomes a proper pickup. And I can actually sleep in. And we can sit here and talk about how life has been knocking us. Quite awesome. Beautiful. Now, there's another feature. Of course, you can mount your luggage here. They are mounting luggage. You have a 12-volt socket here in case you want to power up some of your electronics while sitting here and enjoying a cool evening sunset. Let me see. Do we have a full spare wheel on this? I know Japanese cars don't come with full spare wheel. But before I show you the full spare wheel, of course, they've given you a provision to separate your luggage. So you can carry meat at the front and carry flowers at the rear for your lovely wife, your lovely girlfriend, so they don't interact. Okay? So you have a luggage divider, number one. Number three, hapa chini, you have a space where you can actually fit in a spare wheel. But this one did not come with a spare wheel. This is what Japanese guys do. Okay? Then you also have, in case you're carrying your pet, this is the net. You can ram it right there. And of course, your pet can be separated from you while you're driving this car to your awesome destination. I believe now it's right time we went to the front of this car, opened up the hood, and talked about what magic Volvo has done to give you a new platform, to give you a new engine that is both fuel economical. That one I need to put some salt on it. Fuel economy, I see it come a hybrid, okay? And we'll discuss that when we'll get there. And then see what exactly drives the front wheels, because this being a momentum, does not come with AWD. It comes standard with front wheel drive. So let's check out the front and talk about the marvel of Volvo engineering. Now, there's nothing I'm excited about like what is under the hood of this car, because yeah, I shot a video, I posted it, you guys were crazy about it. I've been looking forward for a very long time to when Volvo will go back to the original engines, like the original designs, where they will invest their own money and give us their own platforms and not borrow engines from Ford. Ford of all the people. Come on, Volvo, what were you doing? But let's talk about what is here. So now, from as early as 2015 for V60, some models started getting that change from 2017. But for V60 and V40, the smaller, we started moving away from the former engines that this car had, where they shared with Ford, and they moved to their own VEA. These are like their own engines. This is their own platform. They sat in-house, developed their own platform, and came up with one unique engine. Now, this engine borrows a lot from the previous modular engine they had before. So they had the previous modular engine. Remember those times we had the 5 cylinders, the 6 cylinders, and even the 1800cc and 2 liter. Back in the days before they moved into this weird partnership in 2010 with Ford. Now those engines, now they picked a bit of what those engines had, like the piston design and all that, and they migrated that, even the head itself, and they migrated that and formed this newer platform. Now these are complete aluminium at the top, which is the head, and aluminium as the block as well, and this saves a lot in terms of weight, and it makes this car better in terms of performance, fuel economy, and all that. It has a fixed geometry turbo. You know, normally we have a variable geometry turbo, meaning it can vary, but this one is fixed, meaning turbo lag, just the same way you'll be dealing with an M274 and the Mercedes-Benz C-Class. You know, the turbo lag dogo, you'll have this one. But if you buy the diesel ones, you know, you have variable geometry. So that is where it gets a bit different. So this engine is capable of pushing 250 on the momentum. It's capable of pushing 250 horses and 350 Newton meters of torque, which is way more than what you'll get on like a C200, because like a C200 will be pushing maximum of 211. So this car is more powerful, it's more agile, it's more like it's more good things on top of any Mercedes-Benz, starting from the looks, okay? Because for the longest time, the Benzes have been holding the key to who looks prettier, who looks slickier. Now we have a new sheriff in town. If you're buying this car, I say there are few trim levels that you can get with this car. So this is the best, which is the momentum. So power is 250 on the same engine. If you go up and get the R design or the T6, which this V6 that has a T6 badge, that to me is the same engine, but now amekuongezea hapo nyuma a supercharger. And that addition of a supercharger now pushes the power of this car to 316 horses, which is very nice. Torque, we are moving about 400. I believe around 440, 450 thereabout, which is dope. Now, if you go to the most powerful one, which is the T8, with 2 electric motors, one big one at the rear and a small one hapa mbele. that also doubles up as an integrated starter generator. Now you are pushing upwards of 400. Okay, the base is 400, but you can also get an inscription that is bolster tuned, which will push around 415 horses. And now you're playing 600 plus Newton meters of torque. So this car is powerful. I know it's not close to a proper C63S, but you get, for a bargain or for a budget, you still get decent power output. The only bad thing you have to work with is the hybrid system or the plug-in hybrid setup that you have on the most powerful. So that is what you get, a very simple, reliable plan to work with. One of the downside of the previous generation of the engines that we had from Ford was, of course, reliability too. The coolant pipes and the coolant planches that were here used to break all the time, meaning you are always in the garage fixing that. You had just a myriad of issues with that engine. It wasn't the best engine so far, but this one is one of the best engines that you can buy on any Volvo. And it has done a few revisions so far. Volvo has done a few revisions, so they've made it more robust and better for you as a driver. In fact, the earlier ones, the guys who bought this engine from 2016, from 2015 all the way to 2017, walikuwa na shida kidogo, but from 2018 onwards, this is a Gen 2 engine. So meaning revisions, things have been fixed. Even around the supercharger, those guys who are planning to buy the T6, there are a bit of improvements to make sure this engine lasts forever and gives you value for service. Paired to this engine, you get an 8-speed Geartronic automatic torque converter transmission, which again is still borrowed from IC. You know, they had to keep that. That is the same gearbox you'll get on most Lexus, on the Toyota lineup as well, meaning it's a robust transmission. It has been also improved to be a bit quicker and smoother with the shifts. So gearbox inakaa namna hii. And remember the previous gen, we had the 6-speed IC automatic. So now we have an improved with more gears, 2 more gears, meaning you get a better fuel economy in terms of how this car performs. And then also you get smoother shifts because of that improvements in tune. And in case you're planning to buy the T6, you get it standard with AWD and the T8 as well. The AWD system in the T8 is courtesy of the rear motor. So the one that gives you the proper AWD that is mechanical is the T6. And that one again, Volvo ditched their borrowing. They were borrowing the Haldex all-wheel drive system. So they developed their own AWD system internally. And so that is what you get on a T6. So everything, they've just borrowed some few components from other manufacturers, but they have assembled that AWD system ndani. Kila mtu, Audi, everybody's trying to have their own AWD system so that they can reduce the cost of R&D in the future. Very important for every automaker. Now, the only thing we need to do now before we drive this car and see how good it performs, I believe we need to look at the interior, because in the interior, that's where a lot of things starts happening. And as I close this hood or bonnet, unlike most automakers like Mercedes-Benz who have their technology on a logo here, Volvo has made their technology available on the windscreen fully. So you get your lane departure, all your safety systems are mounted here. So it's very important for you to keep your windscreen solid. Okay, parking sensors ziko pale mbele. Which brings a question. Would you rather have them there so that ukilima mtu mbele you have a bill to pay for the front grille? Because the Distronic system on Mercedes-Benz, if you just touch anybody with the grill, you know, you have to replace it and then you have to go in for a process of realignment so that it can work. Or would you rather have it here so that if the windscreen is broken, you have to get a proper original windscreen? And this one also has to undergo a bit of realignment. Tell me, which one would you rather go? But first, let's check out the interior and see how awesome the build quality of this Volvo V60 is. If you're doing an upgrade or moving out from the previous generation V60, the one that didn't look pretty much good, and you're coming into this, there are a few things I'm going to share with you. Thing number one is they made this car bigger. So they made it wider and they made it longer. And that aspect change has made sure that you have a big space when it comes to the interior. So look at that. Look at my legroom. And this seat is adjusted all the way to the last point. So look at that legroom. Look at that headroom. Quite good, quite awesome. Of course, the person who will suffer most in this is the person who will be carried here because of this transmission hump. It's quite huge. So I would recommend you don't carry a third person, but us being Kenyans and being people that have a family of 5, I believe huyu mtu itabidi sasa akae namna hii. Okay, one leg here, which means they will interfere with the comfort of each one of these guys. But that's the price you have to pay to carry 5 people in this car, right? But this leather is premium soft leather. Now, this is, we can call it generic leather, like leather in Gina. But if you're going up the ladder, if you start going to the R design description, now you have an option of having Nepal leather. Just take note that this being a Momentum, a T5, you can also get a T5 in an inscription package, meaning you get Nepal leather, which is premium leather now, for guys who are paying extra. And then you also have an option of getting a panoramic sunroof, which again is optional. So many things in this car can be packaged and dialed down with options. So it's down for you to check out or get the car from someone who has dialed in a proper set of options. Okay, then you get this drop down center armrest with a place here to store something, and then your cup holders are right here. So you press, they come out, and then you can store your stuff there. And because Volvo is a Swedish company and the Scandinavian culture allows them to have skiing, wale mwelewe English, skiing is kuchukua zile vitu mrefu mrefu and then you are sliding on snow. Yeah, that's what we call skiing. So they carry the skis. So you have to allow them to have that. So now you have a compartment here that you can actually open and retract to allow you pass across skis all the way to the rear. Nona? But for us here, we will allow Kisses and our brothers from Western to carry sugarcane because we do not have skis. Are we together? Now, this is the Momentum, which is the best. So you don't get force on climate zone at the rear. So even AC vents, you only get them on the pillar, which is a signature thing that Volvo does. And you can adjust and tilt it towards you for better air. And then if you want to close them, you can just push them down. They shut down and then pull them up. It opens up. But I love the idea of having vents on the pillars because you can direct them directly to you. So it gives you, it mimics the same feeling you get while sitting at the front. But zile vents zinakuanga hapa, hewa inatoka na chini. You get the air is coming from low. But this one, the air is coming directly to you at a good level, which is dope and awesome. Now, finally, you realize that sitting at the rear, you have these headrests, which can actually tilt. Let me unlock them. Can I unlock them? Yes, you see? So you can tilt this one. But that is different if you go to the front because this one is static. It doesn't tilt. And once I go to the front, I'll tell you why. The only negative I have, and this is how I have with most cars in this category, not just only this, is the space that they have on the door bins. See? Very small. I can barely fit in this bottle. Haiwezi hata ingia. So meaning now, if you're driving for a long distance, hata ukitoa easy, here it fits. I forgive them for that. But the door bins, no, you can't fit anything there. Yeah, so this is a good thing. At least they have this at the center. And I know you guys are asking me, how is this car friendly with family? Number one, away from being one of the safest car on earth, of course, it has ISOFIX points for you here and another set here as well. So if you have 2 kids, you can actually comfortably fit them in. And this space provides for you even to have the seat in reverse position. Guys who love the reverse position where the child looks backward, not, yeah. So you can have that here. And if you have more money, buy the XC90 because the center seat can actually be pulled up to have a child sitting there. Yeah. Let's check out the front because everything good on earth was designed to be at the front of the car, not the back. So I promised you to explain to you why we have this aesthetic. So back to Volvo and their culture. Now, everything that is done in Sweden or the Scandinavian style requires you to have purpose when you're doing it. So these seats are just not seats. They're just not comfortable seats for you to drive in. They actually serve a purpose, and that purpose is safety. So safety is written across the entire of this car. From the pillars, from the design structure, from everything smells of safety because that is the legacy of Volvo, and they do want to leave that behind. So back to this. If you guys remember, Volvo has a patent on something that they call WHIPS, which is Whiplash Protection System, which they have now leased out or given out for free, including the seatbelt to all the other manufacturers, car manufacturers to use. But one thing they retained is the fact that they will make their static because their seat, the way this seat behaves from the headrest all the way to the seat itself, the way it behaves when you hit yourself or you get yourself into an accident is totally different from what other cars will have. So this is a safety tool to Volvo. And because it's a safety tool, they want it to react and behave in the same manner they designed it from the factory. So having this to adjust, you might adjust it and leave it in the wrong position. And that will interfere with the way the safety system will react and protect you in case of an accident. Wow, Volvo. Dope stuff. Now, let's come back to this car now. So, naturally, when you get the newer types of Volvos that are based on the new scalable platform architecture, you get this tablet design screen, which is very good. It's very responsive. You know, you can do everything. It's actually being powered by an Intel chip and Google by extension. So you get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto again, which are very good stuff. Being a Momentum, and remember I told you most of the things here will be optional. So let me see, what options do you have? You have lane keeping assist, you have park assist, you have start and stop technology, you have cross traffic alert, then you have blind spot assist as well. Then you have park assist, so it can help you park in and park out. Then you have your 360 camera, but this 360 camera you can see is grayed out. Meaning, I believe you only have the reverse camera active. Let me try to put it on and see what the camera is all about. Yeah, as I said, so it's just reverse. Yeah, nothing much here to talk about. Okay, so this infotainment screen is quite intuitive, and then you get a lot of things. Like if you get the high trip, you know, you can control your climate controls here. It's there, so you can defrost the front, rear, but you also have a backup button here for defrosting, and then your volume, which has some crystal finish to it, and even the start button is crystal, and the drive mode changer is also crystal. Very easy to use infotainment screen, I believe. The only disadvantage I have is, in most cases, you'll have to secure the things you want to be running on the infotainment screen before you drive, because driving and doing this while you drive is not safe, and that is against Volvo's culture. I tend to believe that there is an option that can make this screen play videos, but the instant you change your driving mode from P to drive, you know, it mutes out or it disconnects the video feed, so you can't actually see the video, but you can listen to the music, which is dope technology. Again, Volvo have never forgotten their culture of being safe. If you're buying the highest trim levels, of course, you get more options here. Things like pilot assist. Pilot assist is like semi-autonomous driving for Volvo, just like what you'll get with the Distronic Plus in a Mercedes-Benz, which is dope and awesome. In terms of the build quality, starting with the steering, of course, you get blacked out steering wheel, but if you go to the description, you can get a dual color where there's a different color at the rear and a different color in the inside. Just makes this car look. But I love this black on black. And this one is actually telescopic but manually, and it also has a tilt function, so you can pull towards you and then you can tilt it up and down, which is good. And then here you get a digital LCD screen, which is bright and looks very nice, and you get a bit of adjustments to make, even though I must confess that it's easier for you to adjust or change things here with the Mercedes-Benz than this one, okay? The only thing I've noticed is if you change your driving mode from, let's say, comfort to eco, you see the screen will slightly change and give you a different feed. But it's only the tachometer side, so it kind of kills the tachometer side. It gives you like more of an energy-saving screen. But if you go back to comfort, you know, it gives you the tachometer, and then you go back to dynamic, which is the highest performing mode. It still looks the same. Nothing changes. But I know with the C200s, you can actually change how that looks. However, if you want to go through the options of how your fuel economy is doing, then you have this button here you press. Then you can even display your map right here in the middle. So instead of having your maps here, the maps can come here. Then you can also get an option of having a heads-up display. You can see the padding already has been cut out, but you can get an option of that, having that, and then you can display these to the heads-up display as well. But with these now, you can circle through your options here, like how many fuel economy numbers you've done and all that. So that is something I need you to know you can achieve. And then on this side, you do your cruise controls, okay? So your cruise control is here. You can reduce the distance between you and the car. It's adaptive. It's radar aided, so you can add this distance between you. You can add the speed. Yeah, it's quite easy and intuitive to use. And I just love the black. The build quality here, things will change here if you go up the ladder in terms of the trim. But right now, we have an aluminium brush finish here, which looks nice with a chrome running all the way to the other side. Then you have plastic at the top. I wish it was, yeah, it's soft plastic, but it's not that soft plastic that you get on our cities. There they lied to us, kidogo. But if you buy the description, you can get wood finish here. You can get wood finish here. In terms of storage compartments, of course, you have 2 cup holders here. There's like extra space to store something here. And then you have a roll out and roll in cover that protects you. Then there's an extra storage right here where you can store your coins in case when you move to coins. So you're covered. Now, coming back to the vents that bring you the air. See, they are huge. They roll all the way to the bottom of how this screen looks like. And of course, just like what you'll get on a Mercedes, you can twist them towards you and then you can shut them. Come on, that's nice, right? And the other one again on the other side. Now, this glove compartment is not the biggest you can get in its class, but it can save you some space. It can give you an option to save some stuff there, okay? Now, in terms of infotainment, in case you're looking for premium music, there are levels. So you can get this car with this. This is the best sound system that you can get. It has no labels. And then you can also get it with Harman Kardon. And then the premium on the inscription will come with the Boas and Wilkins. So the choice is yours. Whatever you choose to go with, choice ni yako. As long as you're willing to pay an extra coin, you get the best of the best. The seats, again, are comfortable, orthopedic, with a lot of safety features going on. I believe I've done a good job in exhausting what this car has. The only thing I don't like is the fact that they didn't give me a place where I can store my stanners. And then your systems here, the Intel self system is right here. And this, I told you, this is where Volvo packs all the entire system from lane assist. Everything is right here. And this car is so interesting because it can actually read the road ahead and adapt to protect you in terms of whether there is a crash or anything going on. It's actually so intelligent to the point that in case they have something they call roll off assist, roll off-road, like roll off-road assist, where if the car is veering off the road, this car will actually steer it back. The car itself, the system will steer the car back on the road to protect you against a head-on collision. Sawa. Let's just drive this car because I'm curious. What are the 250 horses going to do on a front-wheel drive car, and how good is the fuel economy? So welcome to the driving experience with the boy, the man here. The man, ushakuwa mkubwa. Of the Volvo V60 T5. Station wagon, my friend. No, you see the way guys are looking at this car every time.
This guy is a head turner. This guy is a head turner.
Now, first of all, I want to acknowledge Volvo for doing a stellar job, just doing a proper job in setting up this car. Nimelike sana vitu za kwanza kitu ya kwanza imefanya nimebambika sana.
Sasa nini hiyo?
Kuna kitu inaitwa city safety. Sawa, iko hapa kwa mambo ya safety. Sawa Mr. Richie. Sasa hii inaitwa city safe. Hii sasa ni ile kitu ukitembea kwa traffic, you're doing a traffic drive.
You're literally doing nothing.
Yeah, no, like there are a lot of activities are happening around you. People are crossing the road without paying consideration to the car.
Masai ndio yamepitisha ng'ombe.
Yeah, this car will auto brake itself in those situations. It has the ability to predict cows, people, animals. Na inajiadjust in a brake. Ina make sure wewe how cause damage to the things that are outside. That is part of the safety package yenye Volvo zinakam nayo. Nishakuonyesha story ya pilot assist, semi-autonomous. So once you activate pilot assist and click on that one there, then the steering comes onto the screen, and then now you wait for it to be active. It has to read road markings. There you go. Now pilot assist is active. Now I can release my steering and the car will do the driving. Oh, there is a bump here, so I have to slow down. Activate again. Let's go. Pilot assist, get it. I can increase the speed. There we go. Now we are rolling. We are rolling nicely.
What I love about this car is how minimalist it is.
Yes.
And yet you don't feel that minimalism. Like, as much as everything is meko up and down, even me as a passenger, but I feel like it's facing you more than
slightly. It has an edge towards my end.
It has an edge to you.
Yeah, but it's very minimal. It's called simplistic minimalistic. Like
It's simple.
Simple and very good. It's not screaming for your attention.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
not too busy. It's just subtle and good.
Me, what I don't like, honestly,
Yeah.
I think AC. I don't like when the AC is placed inside the screen.
The screen.
Yeah,
It's
like
alright.
when everything is placed hapa.
Preference unazamanga screen.
Yeah, hiyo ni preference yangu. In case
Yeah.
mtoi akuja hapa na kakitu you're done.
Yeah.
You're literally done. Everything because everything is actually in this car is controlled by this 9-inch screen.
Yeah.
Build
But what
quality.
they did, it's good. What they did is they give you the defrost button. Yeah, nyuma upatia button.
Hapo
At least screen ikipasuka you can still
you can
defrost.
still defrost. In terms of build quality,
Superb.
manze,
In Volvo.
soft plastic. Ini plastic kama itangwa
Really
aje?
soft plastic, yes.
Called soft
That is
plastic.
superb. But if you're buying the premium models, you'll get a different material hapo kiasi. Hata hapo utapata wood finish and all that.
Unapata that's like when you go into
Inscription.
This is which trim
This
level?
is momentum.
Momentum.
Yes.
There's momentum, inscription, and R design.
Yes.
So R design pale juu.
No, R design ni medium actually. R design mingi ziko kwa T6 because sasa ukienda T8 you're getting what we call
Is a T8 on this?
Yeah, there's a T8.
Oh.
So 2 liter, 2 electric motors, plug-in
but
hybrid.
That must be crazy.
Yeah, it's pushing 400 horses, man.
Hey.
Also, ukipata niko Polestar tune, it's pushing around 415.
But honestly, R design, I love how it looks.
Yeah, the R design is the killer.
It's the killer.
If you want looks, get the R design. But you have to serve a little bit when it comes to suspension because now the suspension is a bit stiffer. See as comfort. One of the very smooth. You're literally gliding. But now the R design is a bit stiffer because it's geared towards performance more. So the tune on the suspension is a bit stiff.
And I believe it's going to come with the flat tires. The
flat
run. Yeah, the flat runs.
Yes. Mostly low profiles.
Low profiles.
Yeah. For better traction, slightly wider than what you get on this car. But it has the best rims. If you're looking for the best wings and the best look, because it got all these black appendages.
You know that car grill of the R design, the one that looks like the new Mercedes.
Yes.
The 2 stars.
Yes.
Something else I also love. Sound system.
Yeah, of course. Remember, ini best sound system. So yeah, ina Gina anything. But it's very premium and solid. And that is something that even Mercedes-Benz does. So ukitoka hapo unaweza enda uchukue Harman Kardon ama uchukue the best of the best, the Bose and Wilkins. Yeah. But you're not kuja kwa inscription mostly.
Bose and Wilkins, I think in the Volvos they come with around 15 speakers.
Yes. 1,400 watts of an amp. Yeah.
Pata tu bei kidogo unapata hizo tu speakers.
Yes, hata kwa hii T5 unaweza pata inscription.
Unaweza pata you can.
Yeah, so
actually mimi nasema tu kupanda bei on the inscription because kidogo bei utapanda.
Yes. Sasa tuongee juu ya vitu zenye kidogo tupendi.
What don't you love about this car?
I don't know whether it's me or this car playing games on me. But fuel economy, man. I have been sitting pretty on 7.5. So yesterday,
you did 7.3.
I did 7.2. Today, at least I've done a bit of minimal driving in Mecca Eco mode. I've improved to 7.5. I need guys who drive Volvos, especially these newer generations, to confirm whether what you're getting here is real ama kama ni kawaida, tujue ni kawaida. But that's the best I've managed. I know if I drive over long distance, I'll get better fuel economy numbers. Because now this is more of city driving. Lakini nataka tukufanya 0 to 100. So this car is rated at
6.2 seconds.
6.2 seconds. You know, the Mercedes-Benz C200 is 7.1. This car is pretty fast. And remember, this is the best model. So now imagine tukipata tukipata T6. Kwanza T6 iko na WD. Yo bro. But for now, wacha to connect Draghi for iko hapa tayari.
Iko hapa tu hapa.
Very nice.
It is ready.
It is ready for justice. Shika. Msema kweli ni wewe Mr. Mbugwa. Msema kweli ni wewe.
Sha connect.
Wacha tuone kama speed itakuja. Lazima tu load starts. Lazima unajua hapa tuko katikati ya kamstuni hapa kidogo. Gataka hapa ndani. So kuna ka forest cover na Draghi lazima i-connect. Na kwa niambia nafaa tu connect Draghi to the official website so that we can upload these numbers.
Oh yes, you can do that.
We will do that.
Naona hadi akina Bugatti nowadays are using Draghi.
Yes, Draghi is a proper. So I've turned her into dynamic. Let me see if I can drive. Tambuko, are you ready to do
I'm
this?
ready.
So we are going to launch this car. Remember this car front wheel drive. Ukitaka AWD anzia T6 kwenda juu. T6 unapata mechanical AWD. So ukienda T8 electric motor nyuma ndio inakupushia all wheel drive. So hapa nimeweka sports transmission apparently haina
mambo driving mode umeweka sports.
Kila kitu iko sports mode. Actually inaitwa dynamic
high performance.
Yes, tuko tayari we try this.
Niko ready.
Haya. Brake. Yeah, we broke. Hey! Wewe! Hey! Tumewaya 100 man. What? And we broke some traction.
7.8 seconds.
Shit!
7.8 seconds.
I have a feeling we can do better.
We can do better.
Do we pull another one?
You want to try again?
Yeah.
Tumaje tu hapa.
You have to. Mtatusamea. That was a good pull. So ready?
I know. 1, 2, 3.
Gear shifts.
Shafka 60. Think we're going to do.
Talk to
me. Same. 7.8. 7.8 seconds. Consistently.
Okay.
Consistently.
Okay.
Unasikia hizo signals.
Yeah. The shifts.
Hata nafaa kulearn signals. Nasikianga. Have you heard the story of the signals, how they went to the forest to record?
Yes.
To get that different sound for the.
Of course.
For the Volvo.
Yeah, of course.
Ukipiga indicator
unaisikia
unaisikia. 7.8 seconds.
So that's dope.
45.
For a T5. So I believe if you want more power, if you go to 6, because T6 na push 316 horses, you need 250.
Into 50.
Yeah.
But also remember the dynamics. This is also already almost a 7-year-old car.
Yeah.
Meskumwa hapa na pale. So there's a lot of dynamics when it comes to.
Plus, I just feel
if you minus just 1 second, we literally are the numbers that the paper say.
Plus, we are 2 people in the car.
Plus,
I feel I've just not warmed up the car.
You're not well. Exactly. Yeah.
I love AC on.
So
there are a few parameters.
And then I hear the way that these people measure is that they use a roll. They roll. So that's a whole other second.
Yeah, that's a second.
That's a second over there. You know.
So we are spot on the estimated time 0 to 100.
0 to 100.
So hapa nataka unipatie sasa grading yako. Okay? Out of 10, what are you giving this car, being the boss model, and giving it a comparison C200, A4 Avant, BMW 3 Series? Where is your grading?
For me, in terms of safety, especially towards the safety,
yes,
the orthopedic seats,
yes, my friend, which are very safe. Iko na safe technology, my friend. Hii ni fixed na iko na technology ya safety hapo ndani. Yes.
And in terms of the cabin feel,
yes,
the space in it, and also the fact that Volvos are one of the cars that I think in the station wagon kutoka kitambo.
Yes.
Wamekuwa one of the best. Walikuja kuweka ma SUV huku baadaye.
Yes.
Ndio.
No, SUV ilikuwa. The XC90.
The XC90.
Yes, the XC90.
When did it start? Ilikuwa mwaka gani?
XC90 nafikiri ilianza around 19 towards 2000s actually.
It was 2003 actually.
Yeah, it came late. I agree.
So
other people started earlier.
Unakumbuka zile zilikuwa zinafanya dragi the station wagon ones. You remember?
Yes.
The bricks were station wagons. I think these people are the same the way
X70.
Same the way akina Porsches are the best in the rear engine.
Yes.
Na pia wao ka discover SUV mabadaye. The same thing happened to this. I think also something else I love about the Volvos is how now they're doing the way you feel like if you get into this car and you get to an XC90, you don't feel that much difference.
Of course.
In the cabin feel.
Of course.
So you feel like
it's familiar.
Yeah. The same thing to Mercedes-Benz.
Everybody's doing that. Even Toyota.
Even Toyota is doing that. Mazda is always doing that.
Everybody's moving towards familiarity. So what they want you to do is, whenever you're on a phone, someone may know a phone, iPhone logo, then you can go up the ladder. They don't want you to change the experience. They want you to change the size of the screen, the features, but keep the experience. So that's what you get.
Macho kama umekuwa na Volvo
unajua
inakuanga hapa. So for me this car will get a clean 9. 9.
Why is it losing the 1?
It's not an art design. I love it.
Yeah, right. So for me, I think we've been spot on grading of late. You've really worked on your grading. Back in the days, you are bure kabisa. So I think even me, I'll give it a proper 9. And the only reason why I'll deny it a full 10, of course, there are a few things that I would love to have on this, but one of them is the fuel economy. At this point, I'm not sure whether 7.4, because if it's 7.4 and this is what... even my 5 cylinders, exactly the point.
2003.
Yes! So, hapo kidogo na feel na inyang'anya points. But overall, in terms of space, design ya gari, look, even the performance itself, it's spot on. There's nothing you can take away from this car. Ile issue tunagonga nayo kidogo ya major spare parts, tuliwaambia we are here now, we can source for you any parts from anywhere. In case unataka Gen, unataka OEM, you call us. Saa hii stories za kuumia na Volvo parts zimeisha.
Sikupigia unaambiwa suspension 45,000 moja.
Hapana. Pigia si simu, we sort you out. But generally service parts ziko readily available, even though pia inafaa watch, because vitu mingi zimejaa kwa market saa hii ni knockoffs. Mi husema Chinese, but literally what I mean knockoffs. Chinese are the ones who are very good at creating knockoffs. So imeandikwa Volvo, imelabeliwa Volvo, but it's a knockoff. Kia kwa gari utaanza kupata problems in the long run. So keep to genuine parts, utaenjoy gari. Tufanye value for money, bro.
Value for money.
Very nice. So let's talk about value for money, because this is an important segment for you to make a proper decision on whether you're going to spend an extra 600,000 or 400,000 or even 800,000 to buy either an Audi A4, an Audi A5, or a Mercedes-Benz C200. The reason why I've kept those cars in that line, it's because those are the only cars that are close in terms of how they look to this one. Hizo zingine zote farasi ni wanne, hizo zingine zote ni punda. Okay, so the top ladder, I'm going to pick the Mercedes-Benz C200. And if you're buying yourself a Wagon, it becomes worse, because you'll be driving around with a car that looks like a hearse. And people will be wondering, which funeral procession are you leading? So you will be inclined to stick with the sedan version, which is the sleekest one in terms of looks. But that will set you back upwards of 4.2, 4.3 million Kenya shillings. In fact, I've seen instances where that car goes for almost 4.6 million. Hapo tuko sawa. If you go downwards and pick the Audi A5, the Audi A5 will set you back about 4 million. Again, 4.2, they're about 4 million. If you get a high mileage unit, maybe 3.8, 3.9 for a 2018, 2019 unit. Below it, you get the Audi A4, the kawaida one. Now, that one, you're playing around 3.4, 3.5, 3.6, just the same price as this one. And then finally, you get this one for 3.6 million Kenya shillings. Somehow, miraculously, the previous gen Volvo V60, the one that came before this, the one that had that hideous looking face, the one that, you know, was still borrowing a lot from Ford, will set you back 2.2 million Kenya shillings. A change of year, and then you get a leap of almost 1-point-something million Kenya shillings in price difference. And that is down to KRA, blame KRA, and also, of course, the engine displacement changed, because the previous one you had a 1.6 liter Ford EcoBoost, but on this one you're getting standard 2 liter. So of course, the bracket of taxes will change. So one thing that contributes the price change is the tax system, and number 2, the price of this car in Japan or wherever you're buying this car from. Now, the question that you guys are waiting for, is this car value for money? 150%. If you're a person who cares about safety, if you're a person who cares about a comfortable interior that is also geared towards safety, if you're a person who is interested in technology, of course, and finally, if you're a person who pays attention to looks, and I'm just not talking about looks, I'm talking about real, proper, sleek, beautiful, attractive looks that will turn any head anytime you drive by. This is the car for you. I've been your host, Papa's Coffee Ibrahim Toloi himself, on this epic, interesting episode on Conversation. See you on the next one.